What do you think about TB12 hanging it up, man?
Shocked.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. Nah, I mean, it's crazy. It's shocking that he's retiring. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought it would. I don't know. I didn't know when he would retire. I didn't have an idea. I thought it would be like an injury or something. And maybe that's the way he don't want to go out that way. And not being able to move around as much and, almost being 45 years old, that you become a target sitting back there. And watching Big Ben this year, bro, he took some shots because, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to see Brady doing that. It was hard for me to watch Big Ben a lot this year because he was just taking some real fucking hits, and you don't want to see Brady going out like that. It's kind of how Brett Favre went out too, taking some big shots in that Saints game. So, I mean, kudos to him for being able to step away.
It's so interesting because any 44-year-old, you're not surprised if they retire, but with him you are, and that speaks to his greatness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that, he has really, in a lot of ways, revolutionized fitness, nutrition, pliability, longevity in this sport to the point that we all not only believed he could keep playing, but he was still playing at such a high level that we just expected him to keep playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's stunning. If you really think about it, that is stunning that he was at that level. But he is.
He could be the MVP this year.
Yeah, he could. He could, which is great. He led the league in passing yards. He led the league in touchdowns. And see, maybe there's a part of him, too, that's like, you know what? I know I can still do it. Let me leave now while I know I still can, right? Like,
yeah.
Did you feel that at all? Because you still could get guys out when you retired. Did you take some solace in knowing, all right, I'm not like on my last thread. I'm not getting shelled out here. I'm still a useful member of this team, and I'm glad I'm leaving that way?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's how every athlete wants to see themselves go out. It never really happens like that.
Yeah.
But to have a little left in the tank and still be satisfied, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
there's one thing to still have a little left in the tank and then not be satisfied, feel like you still need something to do out on the field. Like, there's obviously nothing that Tom Brady needs to do on a fucking football field. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to be able to have one of your best seasons at 44 years old, lead the league in passing and touchdowns, and then just say, fuck it, I'm done. Like, that's some boss shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's some Tom Brady shit, to be honest. Peyton Manning went out, like, he couldn't fucking throw a football anymore. Like, they won that Super Bowl because they was handing it off to C.J. Anderson and that defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it would have been, the Tampa Bay Bucks would have won the Super Bowl this year because of Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And for him to be able to walk off in that light, I mean, he's literally the greatest ever. Like, there's nothing else to say about the guy, cuz. Like, but just know that he's still walking. It's like Mo. Like, just know that Mo can still get outs in a big league game right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of an aura, like an aura to those athletes that can still fucking do it. Barry Bonds. Like, you put Barry Bonds in a game right now, I bet you he fucking walks 3 times and then gets a pitch and goes deep. Like, he's just that guy. Like, Tom Brady's that guy, cuz. Like, even MJ didn't go out like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
you're right.
It takes a special type of athlete to be able to fucking walk away at the height. Not even at the height, just when you're still at your best.
And not at the age of Barry Sanders, right? Not at, I don't know, what was Barry?
30,
29, 30,
yeah,
31?
31 maybe?
Yeah. Not at 31.
Megatron, same thing, 31, 32 years old. Yeah.
This dude is walking away at the top of his game at 44. Think about that. Like, it's so insane. And by the way, see, it's just funny because I was talking about how, you still were a contributor, but I'm also then neglecting the fact that you literally
rip my shoulder.
Rip your shoulder off on your final pitch, but you had at least decided mentally before the season you're retiring and made it known before that happened. We all know that you started to have second thoughts with how well you were pitching out of the bullpen, but yeah, your shoulder made it end up
the decision
moot. But like the greatness, I always used to say this, like, true greatness is, I know you're great, but I still feel compelled to say it out loud as I watch you. Mm-hmm. That's how I felt watching Mariano Rivera. Obviously, I knew he was great. I watched him his whole career. He's amazing. He was so great that I couldn't sit there and not say it. It's how I felt watching Derek Jeter as well. I'm just like, my gosh, this guy's great. When you watch him every day, that's Tom Brady's greatness. And then to be so good that there's a unified consensus on you being the greatest of all time. Wow. I mean, that's how you know you're special. That nobody's out here trying to argue anybody else for greatest player of all time when it comes to NFL history. That's how unquestioned his accomplishments are. That's true greatness. He's true greatness.
It's crazy, too, because it puts a lot of pressure on, like, Mahomes. It puts a lot of pressure on Aaron Rodgers, to be honest. You know what I'm saying?
That's a standard that's here.
Are you going to take care of your body like this guy to be able to go out and be that great for that long? You know what I'm saying? Or are you going to, like, sit here like us and do podcasts and talk shit and just go into your body? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, he set the standard. So there's a lot of pressure on these guys coming behind him that are considered some of the best ever. Because Aaron Rodgers is considered one of the best ever. They already consider Patrick Mahomes one of the best ever. So, I mean, these guys got to play into their 40s.
I think Tom Brady, too, and I heard Alan Hahn talking about this today on Bart and Hahn on ESPN Radio, and I thought he I won't word it as eloquently as he did, but I thought he made a really good point about the last, because he's a big Jets fan, and so he rooted against Brady forever. He said the last 2 years when he was free from sort of the hamstringing when it comes to media stuff of New England gave Tom Brady this avenue to likability that maybe he wasn't able to access when he was with the Patriots, you know?
Well, that's not true. But that's just New Yorkers. You guys hate Tom Brady.
But I don't anymore. And I used to.
Because you was a New Yorker. Well, you don't hate him anymore because he went to Tampa and he's out of Boston.
Gotcha. Okay.
People outside of New York, the tri-state area, really like Tom Brady, cuz it was just you guys.
Okay. But he kind of used to be like smug and
just
whatever.
Just to you guys, cuz everybody always liked this guy. I don't know.
You think so?
Yes, I do. I honestly do. I think people really like Tom Brady outside of the tri-state area.
I think going to Tampa helped his Q rating everywhere.
For you guys.
I don't know. I think for everywhere. Because I think also like the fact that then he won without Belichick, there was like this added level of respect too. But he's like, I listened to his whole Howard Stern interview after he went to Tampa at the beginning of the pandemic. It was so good. Like he said, I listened to him with Dak Shepard. That's one I really would love for us to do, see.
Tom Brady?
Do you think we can make that one happen?
We could probably make that happen.
He's got some. We could fly down to Tampa. We could do the interview at St. Petersburg. He's got some really, just like I love all his TB12 stuff too. His protein powder is terrific. It's truly fantastic. But he's I mean he became a guy I used to root so hard against. And yes, there was a Boston element.
Yes,
to it,
that's 1,000.
Sure.
It's only the tri-state area people that hate this guy, cuz.
Yeah, but he
Everybody
became real
else
likable
loves
to me. He became real likable. Like I don't know why, but he did. Well, I guess maybe just moving. But
I always liked him. I always liked him more than Peyton Manning because.
Really, you were a Brady guy versus.
I was always a Brady guy because of like nothing was handed to this guy. I feel like everything was handed to the Mannings, like both of them. I mean, Peyton was really fucking good, obviously.
Yeah.
But like he came into the league, he still hadn't beat Florida. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Tennessee won the national championship the year after he left. Like T. Martin took them to the national. So like it was like Peyton Manning, like he came in with all this hype, and he lived up to it. He was a great quarterback, but I just thought that like
you like the 7th round pick. I
like what Brady turned into. I like Steph Curry. Like I like what he turned into. Like, nobody saw him being the greatest shooter of all time. Nobody saw Tom Brady being the greatest quarterback of, like, he turned into that. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, when like Joe Burrow, we knew he was going to be good. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that element of, like, turning yourself into the GOAT. For me, that's sick.
Think about that as a cautionary tale and also a motivational tale for athletes, right? The greatest player in the history of the NFL was a 7th round draft pick. Think about that. I mean, like if you're looking for a source of belief and you feel like you've been overlooked and snubbed, I mean, you can't possibly have a better example than the 199th pick of the draft becoming the greatest player in NFL history.
Yeah. It's a great
incredible.
thing. It is. It's a great inspirational story, but I don't think there will ever be a person picked that low that will ever consider the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? Like that won't
and
ever.
I'm saying 7th round, 6th round.
6th round. But I'm just like it's
199th pick, but 6th round. But I mean it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's crazy.